Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Your video is about to start. I wanted to remind you of our newer Wednesday, 1 p.m. live stream Q&A on all things Social Security. Visitors are welcome to post a question in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer it. It's on a first come, first serve basis, so please get there on time. Otherwise, if you care to be a member and get some different kinds of perks, feel free to click the join button below or just click it to learn about them. Anyway, I hope to see you Wednesday. If not, enjoy the video. Bye now. Shalom. Okay. A week or two or something like that ago, we talked about question number 5 on the function report and my perspective on how your need to nap or rest with your feet up is really, really important because when you're doing that, you can't be working. So therefore, if you have to do that during the day, you may be interfering with your ability to perform work. Napping is really useful in other locations as well. Number 6, which I think was the one I intended to do, but I can actually think of a few more. Number 6 asks about what you do from the time you get up to the time you go to bed. And function reports in my brain today because I was just working with a client while we were completing her application. I think I've told you before, I gather a ton of information. It's kind of hefty before we file, unless we have a deadline reason not to, because I want everything to be cohesive and consistent. And I found that it's probably not going to be as well as it could be if you don't do it that way. And that is something I started maybe about uh, 6, 7, 8 years ago. So the first, you know, 10, 15 years, I didn't do that. But as you're growing in practice, you deviate from what the traditional way of doing it is when you find a better way. So anyway, obviously, what you do from the time you wake up, time to go, don't leave those naps out. Don't leave the times if you have to zip on back to the recliner and put your feet up, or to the couch and have your feet on the ottoman. Um, Give some thought as to how often you do that. If you're not sure because you haven't really been paying attention, and that would be a very easy thing to overlook, take a little piece of paper with you, stick it in your back pocket, or have a side table where that place is where you do go, and jot it down each time you go and how long you're there. And then you don't have to go bullet by bullet, 8 to 9 o'clock, 9 to 10. I mean, you can, but the space is limited. So sometimes, if someone tells me that they do it several times a day, I will say intermittently throughout the day, have to go lie down. Or if they say they go to a recliner and elevate their legs, we'll explain that, whether it's due to fatigue or due to pain. Um, but that would also then jive with what you put in number 5, if that is something that has to be done. And of course, you want all that stuff to be noted to your doctors. So the fact that it happens is something that your doctor is aware of. It's in the medical records, and it stems from a particular impairment. Sometimes it's an insomnia because people don't sleep well at night. And insomnia can be a disorder that you're going to want to address if that's what happens. Other times it's because activity during the day totally takes them out. An hour and a half of puttering around the house, I have to go lie down. I have to put my feet up. So 6, that will be important for as well. Now, there's other areas like number 20, believe it or not. There's, you see all the different columns of functional tasks. Very important section. Completing tasks. That can be affected by breaks you need to do. And that could include those nap breaks or, the reclining and putting up your leg, putting up your feet if you do that for edema or whatever the case may be. So consider that completing tasks. It's amazing how people often leave that one out. But if you have to go nap and take breaks a lot, that usually interrupts completing tasks timely. So it's not necessarily that you don't complete the tasks. Remember, the question on 20 is what things are affected. If completing the task is not done in the timeliest of fashions that it used to be, that could be something that is affected, completing tasks. And then in the little narrative, you might say, you know, tasks aren't completed timely due to the need for, intermittent breaks throughout, or naps or whatever the case may be. But you definitely want those in there. And again, it's really important. I was just speaking about a circuit court case where the circuit court emphasized that the the personal limitations that you can ascribe to, you want to do it, but you want to have it so it can be connected to an objective piece of medical evidence in the file. So it could be you're diagnosed with insomnia. It could be you've had sleep study tests, but you also want it to be shown where you have been complaining to your doctor at every visit, or your sleep doctor, or whichever doctor, or doctors. It's really important when we go to the doctors that we don't hush up about even those even those symptoms and problems that might not be the basis of the reason he's treating you today. You could be in there for you cut your toe and he's taking out stitches, but you could still, usually when you go in there, they want to know all your current symptoms. And that, even though that's not what you're there for, that's your opportunity to put that in there. It can also be put in, you could be messaging them through your portal if you feel you didn't really take the time to do it at the visit. Or you want to make sure you do it before your next visit. So when you go and pre-register, if they let you or ask you for those kind of symptoms in the portal, that would be an opportunity too. If not, you might be stuck just doing it when you're there, but sometimes they don't really record everything you say. You don't know if it's the doctor or the medical assistant, and it's just not always, you'll find when you look at your records that things are missing, and people get really upset about it. And I don't blame them because those things can affect your case and your the whole ins and outs of your case. That circuit court case, I can't remember the name of it, but uh, if it's not out yet, it'll be out soon in a video. Super, super important though. So get those naps, get those interruptions to the day in all the places that it would be relevant and that where it's asked. Just because you put it in number 5 doesn't mean you don't put it in number 6 because it is part of your day. And even though you put it in 5 and or 6 doesn't mean you don't consider it when you are talking about completing tasks in number 20. Okay. All right. Just wanted to drive that point home, guys. Function report number 6, napping, timeout, intermittent breaks, that kind of thing. And also suitable for 5 and 12 as well. Okay. Those naps are really important. I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.